Hello. Hello. Welcome to this week's Rig Along, the Twitch stream. Mabel. Mabel's got a treat. Very important. We've got a good one today. This is a new experiment in the kitchen for Maybel. I like to test these out on Twitch. You guys get the live reactions. But this week's little snack to keep her entertained for this couple hours is boiled carrot with what do we boil this in? Chicken stock, chicken broth. Disgusting, but I hope she likes it. Peanut butter and yogurt with, of course, her favorite treats, salmon, to help her to help coax her into keeping busy. And she really wants this one. Actually, she was starting to ask for it right out of the what do you, the fridge, the freezer. You want this? You can have it. Come on. Want this? Okay, I'll put it right here. Okay, sure. There you go. Oh, we just dropped a piece. Yeah. Excellent. She went straight for the carrot. That's a good sign. Because if she eats that too soon and I need to distract her, the other part of her treats this week is which is the real experiment, is frozen boiled carrots. So I took the carrots, boiled them in the chicken stock, but also like made a bunch of holes in the carrots so that they are, what do you call them? They are infused with the chicken. So, hi, nice to see you. Hey, Brett. Hello, XDBVC. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here today. Welcome to the chat. I can see that you just signed up. So just so you know, this is Maybel, and she usually gets a treat at the beginning of each Twitch. So to keep her quiet, a little trick that I had to, little pandemic living trick that I had to, it was a survival, essentially. But yeah, cool to have you here. Today we're going to be finishing up Skelly, Brett's rig. So this is a rig that Brett designed, and I wanted to make that for him. He's also rigging along at his house, and and then I'm helping him rig it behind the scenes a little bit. He asks questions here every once in a while. Are you into animation? How'd you find us? How'd you find me? We're gonna be switching over to gameplay, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep rigging. All right. So last week we finished the bottom jaw and we cleaned it up. This week we're gonna be going in and adding the extra pieces that are a little bit. I don't remember if we finished the tongue last time, but. Basically all the extra pieces that are in the mouth that we can't really see, and little details that we haven't added quite yet. So we're gonna be going into that, but we're gonna be wrapping up the rig today, hopefully. So that's the goal. So we have a little bit of a time constraint. We have a bit of a deadline. The goal is to have this rig done. Because if you know anything about the rigging process in animation, it can go on forever. So we always want to aim to get it done. So let's go. All right, let's give this a shot. Is this my hobby? This is actually my job. I do this in television, for television, for the past decade. So now I'm doing it on Twitch. So it's a pretty cool job. So you must be an animation enthusiast or a cartoon enthusiast as well. What is the cartoon that you're watching, if you are watching one right now? I actually just started watching Harley Quinn last night and was blown away. I was actually very blown away by how good it was. I feel like women have needed cartoons made that well for a long time. We deserve them. Brett, how are you doing? Okay, wait, final mouse. Let's put my transparency node on so we can see what we're doing. All right, let's check. All right, we got the slide peg on so that we can compare. So right now what I'm doing is just going to go through, since I have to come back to this every week and kind of think about it, I'm just going to do a quick comparison and like a little bit of a watch to see where I have to go, what I have to finish today. I've got my slide peg activated, which means that this is my rig, but I can compare it to the actual design right here. So just going back and forth to see if I need to add anything or what's missing. I know we're still missing a lot of the little line details, and that's kind of what we're gonna go in and try to add today. The same way that we added the tongue bypass, this tongue is missing a line, a detail. Last week, we're going to go in and add a little bit more. Okay, so what's missing? We're missing back teeth on the back jaw right here. We're missing the spit that is kind of coming off the teeth, off the tongue, out of the mouth. And we're missing little details in the jaw, like this, like little line work. It's also on top of the teeth, and a lot more designs than others. So we're gonna be going in and adding, I don't know how much we're gonna be able to add. It does, because it's a rig, it does change a lot of the functions. And if I could spend 4 days working on all the drawings for over top of the mouth and how it's interacting with like what's happening back here and here, it would be a little bit of a different story. But let's see, we'll go in and do the best we can. All right, so that's 4 layers that I see. So the upper lip, the 2 spits, what am I missing? And the back of the teeth. Okay. So I'm gonna take the note of what they actually are. So upper lip, saliva times 2, back teeth, BK teeth, and back teeth close. Where do I put, it's a good question, where do I put the animation? Well, the animation, I don't actually put it anywhere. This stuff I put online, so this will go on my YouTube channel. Usually it takes a week. I let Twitch have it for the first week, and then I move it to YouTube, so you can basically follow along and rig along if you ever wanted to learn how to rig. But what I do is I'm teaching professional level skills. So these are kind of the next level to animation skills, next level rigging. So I kind of go beyond the basics here. But where the animations go that I work on are actually they go on Netflix or Apple or Hulu. Trying to think of where else shows have ended up. I've never worked on anything for I've worked on stuff for HBO, but nothing's ever gone on HBO. Television. I guess television's probably the biggest one. YTV, that stuff. But that's I'm just part of a team. I'm just part of a team that does all that work. So it's a bit It's a bit different, but they're all like, for example, I've worked on Rick and Morty. That's probably the biggest well-known name show. I've also worked on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the television show. I might be working on another show towards the end of the year. If I get that one, that'll be pretty exciting. But you can't talk about that one. Probably won't be able to talk about that one until next year. What else? Yeah, hard to say. Hey, Bass Birdie. Oh, no worries. Welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you can make it. And Brett, still struggling with some of this week. That's okay. Yeah. Do you have any questions about what it is that you're struggling with? Maybe I can go over. Today will be a good day to kind of go over some stuff. Since I'm adding some of these pieces in the jaw. All right. So. All right. Oh wow. She cleaned that lick mat. Oh, it's so good. Hopefully she's not. She's been. Got to give her some vegetables because I've given her a couple hot dogs this week because it's officially hot dog season and I like hot dogs as well. So I'm glad she's liking the carrot smash. I'm excited about the next treat. So if she gets antsy, I'll run and grab it from the freezer, but it's a full-on carrot, frozen carrot. All right, so we've got the tongue bypass. Let's fix that tongue. It's missing a line. Let's bring that in because that line I think is. Let me change these. Camera. No view. Feel like being a little bit more right-handed today. All right, let's see. There is. Okay, we are. Okay, there we go. I got color in my line art, which isn't supposed to be there, which is why I can't see much. I'm going to hide the teeth because I can't see. Oh, she really liked that one. That's good. All right, just gonna add this detail in there because I think that it could be there. My YouTube is Lindsay K on YouTube. It's the same. It's the same here as it is there. So it's just Lindsay K on YouTube. And if you wanted to, actually, yeah, if you look up at the corners of this screen, I'll have all my information there if you want to connect. If you ever want to talk about animation, it's all right there. I'm always curious as to know what you're working on too. So a lot of people here are doing things at the same time. So are you working on anything today? And Bass Birdie, how about you? How is the end of school happening for you? Okay, that's perfect. That's better. How many tongue drawings do we have? We have a couple. Okay, so that's good. It needs a deformer as well. Or did I give it a deformer? I did. next step is, let's do this chin. Okay, Brett, there's so many questions. I've been trying to still make the forms look like the drawing. The eyelids, eyes, tongue, etc. are showing, but not in the way they should be showing. I'm pretty sure that your eyebrow deformer, your eyebrow needed that cutter. So that's a separate thing. So for your eyebrow, you have to do this. So on your overlay, you've got your detailed lines, which is where your design is, essentially what your design is. You're just copying that. You've got your line art, which is the full line. You got your color, which is the fill. And then on your underlay, you've got a big, broad shape, and that's your cutter. That's the thing that's going to cut. I could even change the color of this to be the cutter color, the masking color. But we're including the eyebrow in that because it just helps the cutter cut things. So the eyebrow is on top, but you still kind of always want to have a little bit more overlap. So that's probably what's missing. You want to remember too that your cutter does not get plugged into your composites. It's not artwork, so only your artwork gets shown on there. I've got a layering issue with my eyebrows, so that's a thing. Actually, that's not a thing. I mean, it is a thing, but I'd have to add a whole new cutter, so that's going to be okay. We've got deformers on there too to keep it. Look at that. Oh, so cute. It's already happening. It's already alive. And we're not even done the rigging process yet. But I know that's probably what you're missing for your eyebrow. For the network, now remember we've got our overlay, line art, color, or auto patch, color art on underlay. We know the cutter's on the underlay, which means that it's going on the far right side. So here, I hope you're writing this down, your eyebrow cutter is plugged into the near eye and the far eye, so both of them. So that's what's cutting both of your eyes, and it's not cutting the individual pieces in here. We are cutting them on their main connections from the eyes to I think this is the face composite. Yeah, face composite. I didn't do a great job of naming these. Face composite. So that's probably what you're missing over there. All right, let's get caught up here. Finishing up on grading and mentee reports. Sweet. That must be the best part of the job. Just kidding. I don't know. Maybe a little. I'm sure some of them are. Excited to do the summer and to see your own stuff. That would be awesome on your Instagram. Oh yeah, no worries. I forget what it was that I saw now, but of course. I taught animation and storyboarding this semester, so now I'm hungry to do it myself. That would be really cool. Tired of watching other people do it. I want to do some. Just dive in. Dive into the work. That's the hardest part. I have that written on my mirror actually right now, because sometimes when I don't want to do something, I have to figure out I have to trick myself what it is to get me to do something. Because like, even if wanting to do something is never enough. It's like, I want to be a storyboard artist. I want to be an animator. But that's going to require me to like really take on drawing, and I don't want to learn how to draw, so therefore I can't become a storyboard artist. Animation, it would be really hard for me to be an animator. I don't want to draw. It's not my thing. I make stuff with my hands, which is why I'm a rigger. That's why I like getting in here and doing all this stuff. But the thing that I wrote on my wall, or my bathroom mirror, with a whiteboard eraser, is fall in love with the process. Because if you fall in love with the process of doing the thing, that's how you get past and you do the thing. And you do it once and you go, oh, it wasn't as bad. And then you do it again. And then you do it again and again. And then the process is like by the fourth or fifth time that you do something, or that you're not totally full into it, the goal is to trick your brain into figuring out how you love doing it. So as you're struggling with doing stuff, I'm always thinking about how can I turn this into something that I love. And to be honest, Maybel taught me this trick, because this is a total side note. Maybel has a condition. She's a senior dog, so she's got a kidney not infection. She's got a disease. She's got a kidney disease. So I hated when I had to give her pills, because she's on pills now to survive. So my dog has to take 10 pills a day, 11 pills a day, and that keeps her alive. If the pills stop coming, Maybel passes. But the pills will not stop coming. But what I had to do, like doing that, like that chore was really hard for me. It just felt, because it's every 12 hours I have to give her medicine. So I have to stop everything that I'm doing, give her the medicine. And so to fall in love with that process, just buying a pill cutter to cut the pills in half instead of using a knife, like that chore, something about the chore and the results of what happens if she doesn't get the pill, I was just like kind of resentful towards the whole thing. But like her pill cutter probably was like the thing that got me to like realize that. But the second thing was I make her own dog treats. I mean, you guys have seen me make her own dog treats, and I love making her dog treats. But to give her pills, if you've ever had to give an animal medicine, it's literally the worst. They like it's like giving it to a baby, but it's like there's spit, there's partial throw up, there's like partial gag. It's if there's a liquid involved, they just like it just comes back out. She never wants to eat her pills. You have to like force pills down her throat. It's literally the worst process in the world. So the pill cutter, but then also what I do is I make sweet potato cookies, and she's got her own little tiny jar of peanut butter. So now every 12 hours she gets a special treat, which is her pills. And we've been doing this for like a couple of years now. So at 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock and 9 o'clock, she's on me. So she tells me that she wants her pills. And that's how I fell in love with like giving her, like, I mean, it's a weird thing. Don't judge me. But it totally changed how I give her medicine. And like, she loves to take her medicine now. And that's how I learned the hack of like fall in love with the process. So if you are sitting down to storyboard and you're like, oh, I don't want to draw, do something about the environment that you're sitting in. Maybe you don't want to be sitting where you're sitting. So sometimes I don't want to be sitting at my desk, so I take my desk somewhere else, or I'll take the stuff on my desk and, sit on the couch, sit on the front porch, sit on the back, sit somewhere else. So that stuff like that, that's what helps you fall in love with the process. Struggle with diving in. Good at 10. She gets 10. Yeah, she gets because she's so big, she gets a lot. So she gets, what does she get? She gets five pills in the evening, 6 pills in the evening. No, 6 pills in the morning. She gets 6 pills in the morning, 4 pills at night. Yes, that's my life revolves around Maybel's medicine. So it kind of sucks, but I love her so much. She deserves it. Yeah, and I think she likes it. Actually, I'm very surprised she licked that very clean. That's pretty good. Yeah. What is it about? Do you know what kind of storyboard you're going to be making yet? Like what kind of an idea? Do you have any ideas that you want to go? Brett, if you want to work on your eyes right now, I guess you're probably following along. But what's the other thing? What's the next thing beyond your eyes? What's the next thing that you have to work on? Okay, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna bring this back. And I think I'm gonna do the upper lip first. And I'm gonna bring my skeleton design forward. Okay, it's not forward on all of them, but let's see. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try to add as many of these lines as possible. One of the things that we can do with rigging that's pretty cool, what I like to do, especially when I'm doing complicated rigs like this, let's see, I'm going to just create a little more space in the jaw. There we go. All right, so we're gonna put this on top of the mouth. So I'm gonna create, I need one. How come this is two? Okay, I'm gonna use the skull drawing for this one. All right. All right. So this is we're gonna do is create the snarl of the lip. And so, as I was just saying, like this is something that I like to do when I'm making something super complicated. Because there's a lot of people that are traditional animators that can redraw things very easily. Like I'm never going to be one of them, but Control V, Control B, create new columns, always create drawing files. And so what I like to do is create little drawing bypasses. So the same way that we did the tongue, I'm going to kind of do this for the teeth, but we're going to trick it. So I'm grabbing these composites. Brett, this is a really good thing to kind of pay attention to. Is when you grab a composite, you can see what's highlighted and what is included in that composite. And a composite is just another way that you can organize your artwork. So, I mean, everything is flowing down to here, ultimately to the bottom final composite. So Skelly's master composite. Here, and that's basically what we're looking at. But you can use composites to kind of like organize smaller chunks of information. So like, I mean, this is a very small one, which is really just holding the back ocular. What is this? Well, that's the whole face. Yes, the front. What is this one now? Oh, the skull. Oh, it's hidden because of this. All right, that makes sense. All right, so something like this. So like these composites are holding information. So you can, every time you're plugging something in, whatever's on the left is in front. So again, we're just building the one view for this character. So everything that gets plugged in, and I know it looks like, I I know it looks like spaghetti, but as all of these connections are plugged in, they're literally whatever's on the left is the closest to the camera, and whatever's on the right is the furthest from the camera. So that's kind of the goal, is to make sure that your composites are organized in a way that is whatever you're looking at is closest to the camera, so the leftist, and then whatever's farthest away from the camera is to the right. So you can use your composites and you can move them around to make sure that you are ordering your brig at the same level before we start to get into moving things with the pegs. So that's something that you really want to consider while you're doing this. But as I mentioned, when a rig gets pretty complicated and you have people on the, again, you're always doing this for people that are on your team, so you have to keep them in mind. So when you're building a rig like this, which is very helpful for, deformers are very helpful for new users to the software, but they're not helpful for senior users to the software who like just wants to redraw stuff. So every time you add a bypass, that's essentially a place for a traditional animator or more traditional animator or a senior who can draw really well to just add the information and bypass the rig. So we're going to do that here. I'm going to get rid of the artwork on the drawing on the skull. Where is it? Okay, and we're going to add it here. I do want to make sure I'm starting on the first frame though. Pretty sure it's just this one. All right, so this one does not have anything, so we're going to put it on the ZZ drawing. We're also going to put it here. I'm going to rename it. So this is going to be upper lip bypass. Bypass bigger, bypass, upper lip, detail. All right, so upper lip, bypass, and right now all I'm doing is changing it so that we've got blank drawings, the ZZ drawings, instead of the first drawings, because we're going to use that first drawing to actually draw something when we need it. So here we've got our first. I wonder if my paste, no, it's not. Got to make a new line. Can you? My shortcuts aren't working anymore. There we go. All right. Let's make this 6. And let's taper some of these lines. Let's get rid of that green. All right, so there we go. And I better attach this to the, oh, that undid my name. Okay, one second. What did I call this one? Upper lip details bypass. We'll attach this to the upper. This is for the teeth. This is going to be on the top jaw. I could daisy chain this from the actual jaw peg as well. Or I could add a jaw main peg. Let's see, do I want to organize this here? Do I want to put this here? Okay, we are not going to need, we're going to leave that in still for today, but we're not going to use it. All right, we got this one. Let's keep going. Next. All right, this is going to be a new drawing. My Harmony window is hilarious. Okay, new drawing. Let's do a duplicate. Okay, all right, now this one's gonna be a tough one. This is the one that, it's gonna be the hardest one to kind of implement, because we want it to be over the teeth. We want it to look like it's over the teeth, but we also kind of want to make sure that it's not in the way of our layering properties, so we'll do our best. All right, so that's pretty good. Yeah, add one more. Copy view. Alright, so with this one here is going to need a little bit of a filler. So I'm going to quickly just attach, not that one, I'm going to do this one. And let's change this to be the bone color. We can delete this. And let's check to see if our layering is working. Excellent. Right. Looks like it undid some of the work, but we'll just go back and reorder that. How did it undo everything? What the heck? Okay, and I'm gonna put the pivot point. I'm gonna take the pivot point and put it right here. So let's take this one, we'll take the rotate tool, we'll just put it at the top of the snarl. That way it's kind of just on where it needs to be, but it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so we'll go to the next one. And we're on our third drawing. Gonna steal this line. Make that one a little bit more curvy, more curvy and less curvy. There we go. It's gonna be tough. We can't really get like all the teeth details because this is it's too much information for a cutout. For a cutout rig, so I can't really do like individual. I mean I could, but if you move the teeth, you'd have to change it. So I'm gonna leave it a little bit more open, so that the poses aren't necessarily like locked to that drawing. Since this is just like more of a an addition. Copy view. Something like that for that line. I think that will look good. That looks good. That does look good. Okay, this is definitely, something is definitely masking that one. We'll have to figure out what that is. But we'll do that after the drawings are done. We'll just add the drawings for now. And a bypass like this too is what's nice about it. If I didn't clean up that drawing. What is nice about a bypass is you can kind of add them anywhere. So we are just right now doing this for the lip, but essentially what's easier than rigging the entire mouth is really just doing the whole mouth as a drawing swaps. And then that way the teeth are not animatable, but if you have the drawing skills, then you can just go in and replace the drawing. So, oh hey, Draws for Fun. Nice to see you here. Hang on, let me get caught up. You're reboarding your fourth film? That is wild. Fully online year. That was rough. It was my senior year at Cal Arts. Yeah, that would be rough. Concept's alive. I would love to give it the attention it deserves. That's nice. That's really nice to go back. Sometimes it takes you so long to get something done. To get something done the way that you want it to, and you just kind of got to chip through it, like little step, little step, little step. Okay, Brett, I see your message. You want to focus on one thing at a time. First of all, you're kind of looking at too many things. So, your cutter. I'll go over that again. Let me finish this drawing here. I am finished this drawing, so let me now put it here. So we're on frame 14. I'll go back to the cutter. Because you have to add the mask, and that mask has to be on your underlay layer of your brow. So again, if you look at your underlay of your brow, you want to add a shape here, and all I've done, I did this in All I did was take the fill. Again, we're always reusing the artwork. So what you've done in your line art, you're just reusing elsewhere. So in this case, we're taking the color art, which is a fill from your line art. We're pasting it to our underlay, and then you're creating the mask shape on top of that. And the reason why you use your fill is because it essentially doesn't give you any gaps. Like, you don't want any gaps in or holes in your cutters, so it's just a really easy way of doing it. Another way that you could do it is literally cut and paste your eyebrow color fill, and then you just grab the part that's the top, and then you basically just make a shape like this. You might want to clean it up, make it a little bit nicer, but you could do it that way as well. Let me color that so it's the right color. But you really just need to make that big band, and that's what's cutting your eyeballs. That is your mask. And then you take your mask, and the cutter is what utilizes the mask. And your cutter, this is how your eyeballs work. I know you know how to use a cutter. So you take the whole eyeball that's coming from your group. That's what we're cutting. We're cutting the whole eyeball group. And you use your cutter, and your cutter is basically attached to, so this is what it looks like without it. So you can see my eyeball is not being cut there. And don't forget, my eyebrow is on top of my eyeballs. So if it looks a little something more like this, it just means that your eyebrow is not on top. So you want your eyebrow on top of the eyeballs. So I'm going to undo to look something more like that. And again, it's leftmost. So eyebrows are on the left. And then the eyes are on the right. I should grab this as well. It's going to show. So the eyes are on the right. Your cutter is a connection. You're just connecting your mask from your underlay, from your eyebrow, to your cutter. So your cutter pops onto your connection for the eye, and what's running right through the eyeball cutter is the eyeball. So you're taking your eyeball, running it right through the mask, and then you're literally plugging your mask drawing into the mask. So the mask gets plugged into the mask. If we wanted to double click on our mask to see if it's working and to see what the alternative is, like an inverse, you just double click on the mask, boop, boop, and that will give you your setup. So you should have that done. You should be able to do that today. I have full faith that you can do that one. Because you used cutters in your eyeballs, so it's the same to get those pupils cut. All right, so where am I? Frame 14. Let's jump back here. Draws for Fun, are you in the chat? Have you seen Harlequin? I was watching Harlequin last night on Netflix, and I was thinking, this is the cartoon that women need. I was wondering if you liked it too. You haven't seen it yet? Yeah, it's super good. I feel like I don't know if I don't think it just came out. I think it's been out for a while and I haven't noticed it, but it kicks butt. All right, we got this. Let's go back into this drawing. Come on. All right, this one. Okay, trying to keep this like little lip snarl. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Actually, Draws for Funds, I should mention, is a storyboard artist. So if you've got storyboard questions, Bass Birdie, you got somebody in the chat right now who can give you some tips and some pointers. She's I would say North America's one of the best board artists in North America. So yeah, Spider-Verse could look cool. I like that one. Spider-Verse is out? Oh, Thursday. I see. It's not out yet. Ooh, some of these colors suck because I can't really see them. Ooh, I think I'm deleting just the edges. There we go. Duplicate this one. Once you got a couple drawings, it's so much easier to just go back and duplicate what it is that you're trying to do. All drawings should be like very similar when you're getting into stuff like this, because if they're too different, too wild, then a lot of times they don't like match up. So it's really good when you're building stuff to go back, reuse artwork, and then that way everything kind of still looks very cohesive. I mean, it saves you a good amount of time too, which is nice. Let me get rid of this one. That doesn't look like it has one. Almost done. All right, cool. That one is done. Now we will not be adding. I will not be adding deformers to these. That's the only thing. We have to figure out how to solve these, whatever's cutting this right now. Okay, well, let's see. We got to do the same thing for this over here. Bring this up. And you'll notice today, most of it's like really specialized posing. Oh, this is not reset. No. Where are you resetting? There we go. To match the poses, to do the best we can. I'm just kind of going over this ocular before I shortening it when I need to. Here you can see that I need to. And little things like this too is what really gives your character the appearance of talking. Really brings the character to life, because then you get all these extra pieces up here. And again, it always comes down to the director. It always comes down to the director and how they want to portray a lot of these things. Sometimes they don't want any movement. Sometimes they do want movement. So movement has to be planned out specifically. So I do understand why people want it and also why people don't want it. So because it can look really bad if it's not done right, versus vice versa. But I always really like it when I can see little bits of the face moving with complicated jazz. Brett, you have a question about Harley Quinn. What makes it appealing to women? It's just a women's point of view. I mean, like, there's that cool song right now. Says is it Scorpio season? Or whatever. But like, it's just that stuff. Women don't have a ton of, and like, I've worked on a lot of shows meant for women, and they're always like, the budget's not as big. The creativity doesn't really push it as far. They're limited, let's just say, and it sucks when you're working on a show and you want it to be as good. Anyway, I felt like Harley Quinn was good. The writing's good. The gags are good. You get the supervillains. You get supervillains that are evolving, which is really cool. I mean, I'm not done the series, but yeah, it's good. I liked it, and I like that it's as, like, for an animated show, it's done well, and that's nice to see. And I think that it was traditionally done, so you can always take a look at that one for reference for traditional animation. All right, we got the teeth, we got the little jawbone moving. All right, so now I gotta figure out this back jaw. We got this piece right here. We can add. Maybel stinks. Put that back where it should be. How am I going to do this? All right, so it looks like this back piece has to be done kind of like the front piece, but it has to be attached here, which is the other one is attached to. If I add too many things, or if I'm going to attach it to here, because it needs to be, that's this piece right here. Add a nostril line. I'm not sure what that is yet. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to plug it in over here. So I'm just going to mark it with a Dropbox. I'm going to add Copy view B. I'm going to add a drawing, plug it in, and then bring it over. I'm going to cheat. Alright, I'm going to put this here as a snarl. Turn all these drawings off. Okay, do this one. Copy. View. Alright, so we're gonna have to figure out where that went. Alright, let's give it upper lip. What do we call this one? Upper lip detail bypass. We're gonna call this one upper lip back bypass. Let's do PK. Let's see if we can bring that forward. There it is. Da, da, da. Duplicate this drawing and redraw it. This is what I'm worried. Well, I'm not. I mean, I am a bit worried about how technical this piece can be, but where's my? Oh my gosh, where's my next button? There you go. All right, so this is where we're going to have to figure this one out. And we're going to need to add a new peg. This is going to have to be both in front of and behind of at the same time. So this is where we're going to have to get into a little bit of tricks. let's see. Okay, and let's hide this. She's pooped. I almost want to like wake her up and give her her treat. Wasn't expecting her to pass out. All right, we got that one, that one. Okay, that looks good. Almost. I'm gonna have to figure this out. We'll come back to this one. Let's frame 12. Let's keep going with our drawings. So what I don't know how this is gonna go is I'm not sure how, if I put a master controller on this mouth, not like the big one, but like the slider, the best master controller, I'm not sure how it's gonna look, because we haven't looked. What we're doing right now is we're mixing, kind of mixing methods. So we're gonna be adding we've got some drawing swaps, and we've got some like actual animated tweens. So I'm not quite sure yet how it's going to look, and that's kind of what happens when you use master controllers. Like, you have to kind of really pay attention to how you're animating and how you're working, which is kind of why it makes them more complicated. When one person's doing the work and you know how it's done, it makes sense. When you are rigging 2 hours a week and coming back to a thought process that you had like 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, it's a bit I'll be honest, it's a little bit hard for me to track all the movements. I'm very well aware that I need to. However, doing it is obviously the challenge. So we're gonna see, we're gonna try, we're gonna see what it looks like. This is really thick. Let's make this a little thinner. Okay, make this a little smaller. We're gonna have to figure out what's on top and what's at the bottom. new drawing, new drawing. Okay. Can you hear Maybel snoring? I almost want to put a mic next to her sometimes. All right, is that done? Is it done? That's done. All right, cool. I got the other one done. Now let's set this peg. I'm just gonna set it in the back over here behind the nose. That way I can do that little snarl. Okay, let's see. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay. Got lots to do. I gotta figure out the front and the back on this piece. And we're gonna treat that like the tongue. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Whoa, too far. Okay, I'm gonna change my view a little bit. I'm gonna use my slider peg. I'm gonna push my face back. And let's see what this looks like from afar. Okay. Alright, and since these are just drawings, I'm just gonna shorten this artwork a little bit so that it's not touching that nose. We've got too many pieces there. It's turning into a tangent, so I don't know if that is quite what we're going for either. Let's bring this down. If I wanted to see all of this with basically changing my artwork without seeing like this top light effect, I could turn these off. And that's what will allow me to change the artwork so that I can kind of exactly understand where it's going to be laying within all of those pieces. Now, because of this ocular piece right here, that we could take a shortcut and just shorten it like this, but it doesn't quite give the same effect. Let me see if I can pull it forward, if it looks okay. It does. I don't know. I think that that one I might want to get rid of. It seems to be taking a, it's kind of losing its shape. It's causing it to like look a little bit too let me do one thing. I have a arch here. Let me take that away. Oh my God, Maybel. You are such a snore. You're okay. Relax, relax. Might be too much. Might be too much in this one. Might not be. It's not reading the. It gets the attitude, but it's not reading the pose so well. So let's see about this one. Oh, I'm not sure. It looks like what's giving your teeth the definition is outlining the teeth, which is what I haven't added. But I know that that's going to be a detail that's very difficult to work with in the animation. Like in the, if you're working with it, if I draw it out and then we have the rigged teeth, it's not gonna be the same. So let's see. Let's keep working. Let's see what we can figure out. All right. So this one, let's get rid of this piece right here. Let's go back. So I'm gonna need my group. So copy view. And I know everything right now is just hooked up to the line art. Okay, I need to take this view back. I'm going to copy this artwork. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a front and a back. So something that's like in front, something that's behind, but I'm also going to give it its own peg so that we can control the Z depth. So I'm just going to copy artwork on the liner and the color art. I guess I could probably do the liner and the underlay instead. And then that way it's not really confused with the proper layers that we typically use. And so what that's going to do is on my underlay layer, I'm going to have to plug that in. I'm going to need to plug that in behind everything. So let me see. We've got the top teeth. We've got this one here is the skull. So I'm going to plug the underlay behind that. So I've selected the composite so I can follow the lines. I'm just going to plug it in the main composite behind it. So now if I go and I delete, I'll leave my underlay the way it is, and then on my line art layer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away the stuff that I don't want to see. So I don't want to see this. Okay. And now this is the trick. This is the big trick. I'm going to copy this drawing and I'm going to paste this drawing. So this is an exact clone. We want that. We want this to be totally symmetrical of everything. So if I change the one drawing, both are gonna change. I'm adding a new group, and I'm actually gonna use a cutter again. Copy view. I'll place it here just to hold my position, but I'm gonna replace it. So I'm gonna actually now use the underlay from the second copied piece, and that's gonna allow me to pull the information back. There we go. And I will add this. And this is really just for our Z depthing. So let's see. I can pull it all the way forward, or I can push it all the way back. And I'm going to daisy chain this because you kind of want these to be moving at the same place. This is one forward, so let's push this one back. Nope, we want that one forward. And then we want this one back. Okay, and now we also don't want to have all of this. Let me see if I got my... So what's on top, we're going to edit this layer. So we're not going to have, this is basically what we do with the hands. This is it's a good way to kind of describe this trick. This is exactly what we do with when we make prop hands. How much do we need to move this? There we go. There we go. Now let's try to make this lip snarl look good. Looks better on your drawing than it does my rig. Let's bring this back. Let's look at it through. A lot of times we're just changing the artwork specifically to not interfere with other artwork. That's a very common way to fix things. It's kind of the cheap way of fixing things, but sometimes that's really the best solution. Let's see what's good. Okay. That was pretty good. These jowls really like age this character, if I can say anything. Where are the teeth that are... Oh, that's in the next pose, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see. All right, so now we'll do the same thing with this one, and I also want to make sure that these match. So I'm going to just copy and paste these before I forget. Copy, paste, copy, paste. And we'll check each one, so each one is kind of up in Z depth. But it's also back in Z depth, which I've already got. So now I just gotta make sure my artwork matches. So copy. So the line art will be kind of what the overlay does for all of our drawings, but in this case it's going to be, and maybe I should have done the overlay. Maybe that's what I should have done, is the overlay and the underlay. Maybe that's a better way to represent this, and maybe that's something that I will do. Change that over to the overlay layer. And the underlay layer. All right. So get rid of the line art layer. All right. So what's on the underlay layer? Everything. And then what's on the overlay layer? Only the stuff that's on top. So we're going to get rid of this line and this line. Probably this line. And I need to represent that in the network. So I'll use the cutter to hold my place, and then I'll just replace the line art with the overlay. And then I can delete the cutter, and now I've got something closer to what's happening in the design. This is on top of the nose. Maybe the nose has to come forward. I hate it when lines do this. I always try to avoid this. I always try. Let's see. Oh, she's snoring up a storm. Oh. Okay, I think that's it for the upper jaw. Sweet. All right, so just a couple poses. Looks pretty good. The tangents are all taken care of, kind of. This one. Oh, I have to move all these images, actually. No, I don't have to do this one. This is a different piece. Oh, I'm not thinking right. And I know I added that line. I don't know why it's not there now. Harmony. Harmony's got the weirdest glitches. You can hear the snoring? She's loud, eh? Jeez, I just woke her up. I want to give her a treat. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go get her care. I've been way too excited to give it to her. I'm going to literally wake her up so I can give her a treat. 1 sec. Maybel, I got something for you, you stinker. These are the small one, but these are the little chunks of frozen carrot for the princess. You want this? I hope you like it. It's a new one. That's for you. I hope you like it. Okay, fine. You can't have it. Take it back. She's so confused. I'm kind of hoping she'll get excited about it. She's not as excited about it. She put it down, which means she's not going to touch it. You want this? Want this? Come on. Come on, take it. There you go. Okay, let's see. Fingers crossed. Okay, she's doing it. She's eating it. She's eating it. Okay. Sweet. Good girl. No, I was way too excited about that one. All right, last. We've got 2 things left we got to add. So we got the spit and we've got the back teeth. So the back teeth I don't have on. I think I deactivated them. And so with this piece too, we're going to basically do the same thing that we've done with these 2 pieces. So right now all this artwork is on probably the line art layer. We got the first drawing and the second drawing. I wonder what the difference is. This is the deformer. No. Let's see what's here. We're going to use the second drawing then, because I wasn't supposed to be there. And we're going to add the layer on top with the teeth. So now I'm going to change it to the second drawing. Go back to the first drawing. This drawing is going to be the second one, but it's going to be using, I think it's going to use the same teeth. I don't think we're going to be able to add all the details. But we'll do the best we can. That one's definitely the second one. When we create this part of the jaws reminded me of tentacles, because when we create a tentacle, we obviously want to have that perfect deformer action like this, but a tentacle has all that information on it, like the suction cups. So there's a couple ways that we could do it. There's some newer features. They're kind of, it's been a couple of years now, but oh gosh, what are they called? Deformer points, or not. I'm not calling that one right. There's like, I always think crocodile teeth. What are they called? Let me check the deformer. Where is it? Where is it? I don't think any of these are the points that I'm thinking about. What is the... Oh goodness. 10 points to anybody that can think of the tool that I'm thinking of. It's the thing that you can attach to a deformer so that you have free floating pieces that you can use extra drawing. So like we could attach the teeth and then they can turn. It's just that, again, we're getting into territory where we're really overcomplicating something. So I'm trying to avoid that by the rig. And I can't remember what they're called. It's like the first, second, and third and fourth point deformer. This is going to come to me at a weird time when I remember. All right, let's see. Let's go to the second drawing. Let's try to add these something to look like teeth. But also still work with... I don't know, this deformer is very deformed. Maybe we won't be able to do that. Let's just put teeth. Let's put a layer of teeth on top and yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. I am going to think about it at a very weird time, and then it'll be like, oh, that's it. But they're a cool tool. I always think of crocodile teeth because that's what I was thinking at the time, and I know I've used them on. If you look at the croc on Vindicators, I think the tail, the scene where the croc is dancing, his little thing, doing his little groove dance. I built the tail that way, using those points. I want to say they're kinematic output points or like something. It's gonna bug me that I can't think of it. But I think I attached them on that tail so that tail could be ultra flexible, but then the spikes on the tail could be free floating and move with the deformer, but not be affected by the deformer. So they're pretty cool, and they do a really good job. So, but we won't use them right now. Oh, I don't want that. I want a drawing. What do I got here? I've got, let's use this one for 2 drawings. Control V, Control B. And I'll use a composite to group these 2 layers. Oh, okay. I was like, what is that thing? But it's just this thing. Okay, so I did not copy and paste this piece. I am doing the work manually. Oh, Maybel, no. And I'm gonna make sure that when we're not using that bottom piece, we're set to ZZ so that the piece is like sleeping. Put this piece to sleep. Alright, and then when we need those teeth, we will use drawing 1. Let's see what we can... That's what we can draw. eat it? Oh, she ate it. Yes. Yes. New treats. New treats. Alright, so I'm going to add some teeth, but we're not going to add all the details to the teeth. But let's try to add as many as we can. Copy. 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 Okay. Add one more tooth. Copy view. Here we go. Looks pretty good. And we're gonna call these the extra bottom jawbone teeth. This is where it's going to be tricky because we don't have deformers attached to this. And I don't think the deformers are going to look good on there. The image moved when I attached this. This is kind of why we try to remember, I try to remember to create the drawings after, like not after, not before, after I attach them to the peg, because sometimes when the peg's got information on it, it's going to move it, which it just did. So let me put it back where it should be now that it's attached. Just something that I forget to do. Alright, so we got the teeth on that drawing, we got a teeth on this drawing. Let's reset that peg. Let's do, I don't know if I should deform these. this one a little bit bigger since the teeth need to be longer. Add more teeth. Okay, and I'm just going to add a couple more teeth. Can stay a little bit later today, so I'll try to finish this spit and clean up this this rig. Oh. Package it up. Copy view. I'll have to finish off these. Okay. Want to make sure none of my deformers are breaking. Where's my, there it is. Oh no, that looks good. So it might be breaking a little. Yes, Maybel? What's the matter? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. All right, Brett, how does that look for the teeth? Because I know I'm cheating a little bit, but I actually think it looks pretty good. I like having how they look back there. I don't want to add too many. Again, I'm afraid to add too many details because I don't want to have what's happening with the little lip snarl. I'm trying to like prevent a lot of the details in small spaces. It's going to really bring your eye to like always be looking at the back jaw when, you know, you've got the whole character to look at. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Let's see, let me get out of this view. And let's do a layer. All these teeth almost look like they should be in this shot. Dang, looks good. All right, what's this piece? Popping behind the jaw. Let's pull that in. There you go. All right, spit. Bottom jaw, we're good. The bypass, overlay, tongue as a bypass. Let's add notes here. Back lip, snarl, bypass. BTM jaw. Back tooth bypass. Bottom jaw and BTM back teeth bypass. Let's do that for both of them. And what am I missing? Tongue, lip snarl. This is still crowded. Okay, let's pull. Using that as a marker, that can be deleted. Let's pull these top teeth over. jaw. Upper snarl, bypass. Better. Okay, and we're just going in and cleaning up some odds and ends, just some tiny little pieces. Okay, what have we got? We have enough pieces here right now. I'm like looking at all these connections and I'm thinking, okay, maybe there needs to be another hierarchy peg somewhere in there, just to give anybody like a little bit more control over what it is that they're trying to. We got 3 things to easy chain to the jaw. Let's just really quickly see what those are. All right, we've got the bottom jaw. We've got this backbone jaw, and I don't know if we're gonna daisy chain that now to the jaw, because that's gonna go like this. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna unhook this, which means these things might change, but it's okay. We're gonna go like this. I'm gonna copy, Control V, Control B. It's gonna have a master peg instead. Bless me. Alright, so bottom jaw, master peg. It's gonna push everything forward. We're gonna have to clean that up, but it'll be better. Bottom jaw, master. Oh, maybe we don't even need this. Let's hook this up here. Let's see. I'm just putting it right back. It's in the position that it needs to be. It just needs to be, like it's in the shape that it needs to be. It's just the position's moved. So I'm just literally putting it back. I like these fixes because they are usually pretty small. It looks like there's a little bit of rotation off too, actually. So hang on. Let me put the peg where I need it. Ooh. Yeah, rotation always throws it off a little bit, but no big deal. Those look good. Now, the teeth would not move with the deformer. The teeth would have to be almost animated traditionally if the back jaw was moving. So if you're animating this, you don't want to move that too much. You don't want to like be animating the back of the jaw, and that's such a small detail. It would take a really specific reason to kind of go in there and do that. So, that looks good. Oops, that looks good. All right, let's find a place for all the spit. It's around the tongue. And basically, when you add effects like this, these things have to be hand animated. There's no way, like traditionally animated. There's no way to. Let me make sure I don't want to add this peg in, but there's really no way to go in and add a cutout rig for what it is that we're about to do. I mean, the reasons to make it, you'd have to be working on a feature film. You'd need years to do it. Somebody in for a hobby is gonna try to figure it out at some point, but there's no reason to turn this into a cutout. Unless you wanted to do some fancy masking with the turbulent node, but there's no need. No need. So somebody will get bored though and try to do something like this, but we're just gonna do the spit as it's like traditionally animated. So it's just basically gonna be treating it very similar to the way that we've treated the teeth. Adding all these extra bypasses. It's just really a layer that's floating where we want it to make sure that it's got its own peg. I think this is the tongue here, and then we'll add the spit to the let's see where we want to add it. I don't want to use this drawing. Let's see. I want to use a drawing with very little drawings on it. Like grab the skull again. Copy. This is the tongue. This is the spit. Control V. No, not Control V. Control V. All right, so we're gonna put it in front of the tongue. I'm attaching it to the bottom jaw because it's just going to be like, it has to be traditionally animated. It's just best to have it kind of attached to the thing that's controlling everything, and then that way it you just hand draw it to attach to whatever it is that you want to hand attach it to, if that's even a word. But we're just going to do that. And now we're going to go and find the layers of mouth. fix the color after. All right, there's the first one. Okay, I can see my drawing popping. Doop, doop, doop. Let's put this peg in the mouth. Okay, we have to figure out why it's moving over there. I want it here. Reset. I think it's just because of all the other things, but let's put it back. Let's put it back inside the mouth. Just want to steal the colors. Okay, we're almost done here. We are almost done. Let's see. View. So to animate these little spit takes, you really do have to go in individually. And I mean, you can put these on separate layers and animate them individually like that, or you can animate it all in one, what do you call it, traditionally on one layer. That's usually up to the animator, and so an animator will still kind of take what we give them and make changes to it. So this is a really good example of that. So this is really just a placeholder. These look nice. Actually make these a bit longer. There we go. What am I missing? All right, so making pretty good time. If I can finish this soon, then we will be done today. Let's see. Ooh, those are all broken. Move around those ends. All right, and let me recolor. But you do working with alpha like this, you kind of have to eyeball it. This is something that I always had to tell my team, because you can pick it. It's really easy to just pick an alpha, and if you take a look, you are nowhere near what the design is. So you always want to double check your alphas when they have to be on camera. Stuff like this, it's not as important. And since I've got two of these blue colors, I could also change the handle so that it's a different color. I have a lot of blues. Let's see, what color do we want to go? Now that I'm changing all these colors, I'm thinking the blue was good. Very easily seen. Don't want to go into the, maybe I'll go a darker blue. Or maybe we won't change anything. Maybe we'll just push it to be a lot more teal. All right. And now we're just going to build check it. Compare it. Let's get rid of the things that we know we don't need. So let's delete this. I had that in just so I could get to the timeline, although I need to set my keys before I do that. So why don't I do that? Oh, Maybel. F6. We'll go backwards. If you didn't want to delete it right away, you can always unplug it and see how everything works, because then you can just put it back and it'll also work. It'll still work. But we don't need to. We're going to delete that. I knew I didn't put any information on there that was worth keeping. Alright, so let's clean up our node view a little bit. Okay, jaw. Now, the way that you organize this stuff, it's really personal preference or studio preference, and that really comes down to, like, if it's a studio preference, it really comes down to the either build supervisor or like head of technology, technical directors, things like that. Again, you want to try to be consistent with your rigs. I always, sometimes I'm not the best at making the most beautiful networks, but I always try to aim for something that's a bit consistent. It would be good to, if I could remember how I did cadences, I would match what I did with cadence, but I don't have that information in front of me. Tongue and tongue bypass. Party hats. Add a nostril line. I don't know what the nostril line is. Oop, we're gonna delete that. It's got enough lines. It's got enough lines. All right, let's see. We've got eyes. We've got, this is the face. This is the face, yeah. this the skull. Almost wanted to call that the head. Yeah, we got the face, the skull, the jaw. All right. All right, now let's do a master controller for fun, for funsies. Let's do a slider, because that'll be fairly doable. Let me key the whole thing, F6. I'm wondering what this key would do. Oh. Brett, what do you think? How happy are you with how this rig has turned out? Because this is pretty impressive. Okay, let's go to this frame here. All right, let's do a master controller. So when you work with master controllers, you do need to have specifically a master controller composite. So Control H, and we usually attach it to the composite, call the composite MC, so we can find it very easily. And then to create the jaw, I need to have this piece right here included in the jaw. All right, so let's see if I've got the ocular. So I want to make sure I get the deformer here. I always do that. I always grab use the key shortcut. I always get control. It's control. I want that and that. Yeah, now I've got it all. And I'm going to create a master controller, which is this one right here, but we're going to take the slider. So I'm just going to click that slider wizard, and I'm hoping I don't have to do anything. I should save. I should save. Let's do a quick save. All right, so I'm just going to create, so the first frame is 10, the last frame is 21. So first frame 20 or 10, last frame 21. I'm going to keep it a horizontal layout. I can set it to interpolate between poses. I'm kind of curious. It's going to be a little bit of, there's going to be some flashing from all the drawing swaps, but good for now. We'll call this mouth chart, and we'll hit create. Let it do its thing. Looks good. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you like it. That's excellent. That's all that matters. All right. Let it do its thing. Looks like it's going to take a while. Looks like it's not even responding. This is where you get up and go for a walk, or a drink, or a coffee, or a water cooler visit, whatever. Solve a problem. Do your nails. All right, face composite. So this is where we're going to attach it to a composite. So it's asking us. This is why we added a MC composite. Look at all those unnamed composites. That's why we name our composites. Skelly master controller composite. Okay. It's asking us to create the script. It's going to call it mouth chart, which is fine. And this window doesn't close, but I think that I'll put it over here. I think our master controller should be here. Yep, there it is. So we can give it a peg. And I'm also going to attach it to the rig. That way it will move when the Alright, so this is going to interpolate between the poses. So the first step to testing your master controller is you do not test your master controller on your keyframes that you've created, and I almost just did it. It will actually change your keys, so you want to bring your master controller to another frame. So we can go to like frame 20. Let's let's bring our character there, and now we can flip through these mouths. Now it's interpolating. Actually, it looks pretty good. It's interpolating, which means that the poses are literally posing, and you can see right here 4.4. It means that it's hitting the numbers in between. Now what's popping into place are like the things that we did the drawing swap. So the little snarl lines, the tongue, the spit, but if you see like the jaw ocular, this is where master controllers are pretty cool. Maybel, you can see that the jaw is like shrinking and expanding from where I added, and that's why I added it to the master controller itself. What? You're done. You're toast. You wanted me off the computer. But the tongue is also no, the tongue was done with deformers, so it is also like looks really cool. So if we get an animator to animate this so it says hello, it looked pretty cool. Stuff like these, if there were deformers on them, you could add those as well. Well, they would be included because when we selected the whole jaw like this, it was selecting everything within that backdrop. So the jaws, if we were to add deformers there and more details, and eventually when you get into cutout animation, you're basically just adding you're just adding deformer after deformer, and this is why. So you can deform them, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So I actually think that looks really good. I was not expecting the interpolation to look as good as it does. If we wanted to remove the interpolation, what you do, hey, relax, come lay down. Relax, lay down, please, lay down, down. Good girl. Good girl. You've been so patient. Okay, what you could do is open up the layer properties of the master controller, and you can turn these off. So if we wanted it to be, I don't know why we'd want to invert this. It's for blinking. Sometimes you want to like make sure your handles go down. So eyes closed, and then eyes opened. Sometimes your master controllers get a little backwards, so it's like your eyes closed and their handles are up, and then when you open your eyes, your handles are shut. So that's why you would want to invert them. But we don't need that, and I wanted to see what the take off the interpolate poses looked like. Now to have that work, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it does work right away. Oh, perfect. I was gonna say I think we have to do something else, but that would be it. It would just pop from keyframe to keyframe, but there's no motion tweens there, so that's basically the difference. I think that it looks really good. It looks pretty good with the interpolate poses, so we'll leave it. Now, as a build scene, it would be really good to take this character, take all these keys and push them back. Let's go to say the frame 40. And now we've got all of our mouth poses down there. A scene is usually 60 frames, 80 frames. So we've got enough information. So let's clear some of these keys. I can get rid of this key. I don't know why the something's moving, but I think it's my camera. I will put these with this, since I'm handing out this rig file. Alright, where did the copy, make sure this is all the way at the bottom. And this is kind of how you clean up a build file. It's not always that we put the everything towards the back like this, but we might as well. Anybody that opens up the scene is going to want to hit that master controller right away. I'm also going to do this thing before I hand out the scene. I'm going to do this thing where I'm going to double up on the first keyframe. And what this does is just kind of protects the rest of the scene files. So right here. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to backtrack, and I'm going to hit this button right here where I'm going to force a key exposure on all of the drawings. And again, it's just going to protect what we have for the main poses. So if you are animating in the scene and you're kind of getting in there, you can, it shouldn't affect you might randomly change this first frame, but you won't change the other ones. So I'm going to add, I'm going to say put the master controllers in pink, MC. Actually, I don't want that one anymore. It hurts my eyes. Let's go purple. Okay, and I'll just do a quick composite cleanup, since I didn't do that as I was going. I was probably telling myself, I'll do it in a minute. I can also import the audio files, so that they're in the scene. So we got this is the skull composite. We don't have too many to go in and name, so top jaw. There is a studio called Top Draw, and I keep getting that in my head mixed up. Jaw. Top Jaw. Hat composites. Okay, so to hide your master controllers, you can do these little buttons right here. This is show controls and hide controls. So the orange football strings are the show controls, and then the gray ones turn them off. So that's the easy way to do it. You can very quickly find your master controllers again just by selecting them and hitting show controls, which bring them back. And then there's also another window here where it's the master controller window, and here it lists all of your master controllers in the scene, and then you've got a button. But if this just button doesn't work, use these buttons. Alright, so now that's done. And then let's import, if I can get to my Windows bugging. I can't get my window. Can't get it down. Can you even see how I'm struggling right now? The dial. Well, I would import the audio right now if I could get to the button, but I can't move. I want to move. Move. There we go. Okay, we're going to import some sound. And it's going to bring me, I'm going to bring this over here just because I don't know what's going to pop up on my downloads window out of this. I have to do them one at a time. Okay, so skeleton rig 1. Did it import? Ta-da! Should be in there. Okay, turn scrubbing off. Audio. Oh, I wonder if I'm not showing my audio. Import view. Show sounds. There we go. Oh, I had imported it. I think I imported it last. Maybe I imported it last week, or how come I have a sound here? I'll just delete this. Because there's nothing on those at all, but I'll just, we'll have to do one at a time. So you can activate and deactivate these and make sure that the scene is long enough. So that's what I'll do. You've got an advanced one and an easy one. One is way longer than the other. All right, so let's make the scene 180 frames. I'm gonna put the stock stuff already. So it's at the end of the scene. I'm gonna reset my start and stop frames. Come on. Okay, and now I think I can hear it if I play it. I don't want to scrub it though.
Well, Jeepers Creepers, I've just been dying to talk with you.
Alright, so that's the advanced one. It's so much longer. And then the regular one, or the smaller one. Restart.
This is a grave situation we have here.
All right, so could you hear that? I just want to make sure that you can hear that. But that's it. That's you've got your two. Let's see if we can. What does this say again? Forget already.
This is a grave situation we have here.
Okay, we'll call this grave situation.
I've just been dying to talk with you.
We'll call this one Dying to Talk. DY. Dying to Talk. And we can also call this one advanced. Just because it is so much longer. So if this is your first lip sync, you might want to start with the smaller one, which is only about, it's under 100 frames, but doesn't start right on time. So it's about 90 to 80 frames. The other one is 160 frames. So again, it's 24 frames per second. So that's 4, 5, 6 seconds. Am I doing that math right? Which is pretty long. It's a pretty big animation. It's pretty ambitious. So you've got the two. I'll leave them both on at once. Let's run them at the same time, just because.
Whoa, Jeepers Creepers. I've just been dying to talk with you.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So that'll be fun. Animating the lip sync will be a lot of fun. I'll see if I can get somebody to come on here and do a demo, because I cannot. I will not. I will not. we tried doing that on the last one. It's not a great idea. Yeah, but I think that's it. What else do I have to do? Let's clean up this. Let's get rid of all of these. Let's see, I've got some keyframes that we don't need. Let's give Skelly group its peg officially, and then we've got our reference. Let's call this the reference. Then we'll get rid of everything else that's not supposed to be. I find cleaning up a rig file always takes the longest because there's just a lot of little things that you have to do. You never want to like delete anything while you're rigging, because just in case you might need it. And I could group this if I wanted to, if you wanted to, but I will leave it out. And I will disconnect it. Okay, and give this a build scene. And we'll call it version 1. And that's it. That's done. Let's do one more for an audio note. Let's leave a note in the scene. AU audio note. And AU audio is imported to here. Make sure, Maybel, to hear audio, make sure you have audio turned on. And maybe the scrubbing. I know, we're gonna go outside. To hear the audio, make sure the audio button from the playback. Tool bar is on. Audio, AU, audio scrub. Oh my gosh, I can't spell SCRU. Scrubbing is also turned on. For lip sync, I should put for lip sync. Oh my gosh. Maybel, hey. Alright, so. Let's do this. Okay, you're okay. You're a good girl. Good girl. We're going out. We're done. She's so patient. Okay, scrubbing. So this button right here will allow you to scrub the animation. So, scrubbing. So you basically scrub and then you flip to the, using the, oh my gosh. Turn our master controller back on. So, well would be the first one. Well, I'm not sure what I can hear right now, but I'm pretty sure it's well. So you would look for the W mouth, the W. The good thing about this too is you could leave your, because you did leave what these are. So you can actually go and find the letters that you're looking for or whatever is closest, and then basically animate it using the I definitely want to keep this back though. Using that master controller. Boop. I don't know which one would be. Don't know which one would be the well, but well, ooh, would be not quite the clenched mouth. This one right here. But again, like if this is too hard because of the interpolation right here, if you want to turn that off, you can, or you could even go frame, find drawing 3 and then pull that over here, or frame 3. That would be frame 3. So something like that. But I won't get into it. That's for another day. But yeah, cool. I think that we're done this rig, and I'll have to find a way to get somebody to demo it. But yeah, we've got it. So next week, I'm gonna take next week off. Because we're done this rig officially. However, I'm going to use that time to set up the next rig that we're going to be getting into. And yeah, that's how we roll. Yeah. Oh, Bass Birdie, you are more than welcome to demo it. You show us your animation skills. This is going to be it's a fun rig because it's something in between traditional and cutout, and you're going to be you can use the deformers to get in there. So if you've got traditional animation skills, you're more than welcome to hop on and play. Very cool. Very nice to collaborate with you too, Brett. I'm pumped. You're gonna keep working on this rig. I know it. You will have access to this rig. I will upload it to my Gumroad account very shortly. I need to package it up, obviously, but I'll probably get to that this week. And it will be. I'll post when it's available on Instagram. But yeah. Very cool. It's all your work, Brett. I tried to stay as true as I could to your vision. And I think that it'll be a really cool rig to animate with. Very flexible. All right. I hope that Bass Birdie, we'll talk. I hope that you have a good night, and Maybel needs to go out, so I better run. Okay? Bye.